The Fool is represented by Tyrion Lannister on this card, a man that turned his back on a dragon. Terribly foolish, and yet ultimately had success. A man that saved his city from Stannis Baratheon's army, who traveled to the Wall and helped put Bran the Broken on the throne. The Tarot Fool numbered 0 stands outside the sequence of the major arcana cards. Tyrion is the outsider, despised by most of his house and people throughout the Seven Kingdoms. Witty, brave, and brilliant, he is destined, like the Fool, to be both part of the world and apart from everything in his world. But this imagery of a man turning his back on a dragon has me remembering the story of a prince that turned his back on a dragon and wasn't as lucky as our Fool. There was a Dornish prince hoping to secure a marriage alliance with the Dragon Queen, Daenerys Targaryen, that sailed to Essos. But the queen was not interested in the prince, and soon the boy became impatient and upset. Well, the Dragon Queen also peaced out on her dragon to the Dothraki Sea, so the prince made a rash decision. See, the Dragon Queen was called that because she had dragons, 3 to be exact, but 2 were chained up to protect her people. The Dornish prince decided if he couldn't have the Dragon Queen, he'd at least have a dragon. The prince believed given his dragon blood, his Targaryen ancestry, he would be able to tame one of the dragons, so he went to the pit where the dragons were kept. But he made a grave mistake. While trying to tame one dragon, he turned his back on another. The dragon the prince had turned its back on did not like him in his home and bathed the man in dragon fire. His companions recall seeing him covered in flames and hearing his screams. For 3 days the prince lingered on the edge of death, covered in vicious burns. He was given the absent Dragon Queen's bed to die in. The room and everything in it reeked of blood and smoke, but Daenerys' people continued to care for the prince. The prince had no lips and was so horrifying to behold that the queen's cupbearers couldn't even stand the sight of him. But one brave queen's aide tended to him day and night, giving him water and milk of the poppy when he was strong enough to drink, listening to the few tortured words he could gasp out occasionally, reading to the suffering man when he fell quiet, and sleeping by him. Those that saw what was left of the prince agreed that it would have been better if the dragon would have simply devoured him. Fire is a hideous way to die. The prince died on the 3rd day, just before first light, taking his last shuddering breath in the bleak, black dawn, with rain pouring down.